Does your idea of a good time look like 16 days in Japan, self-planned and self-organized, all trains, no taxi, all alone, with 8 days of cycling/cycle touring and traveling to 9 different hotels? If you're new to this channel, I'm Min-E from Singapore. For over 2 weeks in the summer, I visited parts of Japan I had never been before, exploring by foot and to cycle 693 km. This video shares my experience and advice for planning and riding in the Japan Alps all by yourself. Maybe you'll think twice about organizing your own trip, or maybe this video will help you with planning what you need. First, here's an overview of my 16 days in Japan. After my first night in Tokyo, I spent the next 4 nights in Nagano City. And then I started moving around Nagano Prefecture, including cycle touring for 3 days and 2 nights from Ida to Lake Suwa, Ueda, and then back to Nagano City. I then took trains with my bike to Karuizawa, Kidyu City, and then finally back to the outskirts of Tokyo. So when planning your own cycling trip, there are basically 3 questions you need to answer. 1. Where to cycle? I planned to stick to one region, which is Nagano, instead of bikepacking across Japan for 2 reasons. 1. I wanted to do lots of climbing with my bike. Climbs are honestly really ideal for solo itineraries. 2. I didn't want to set off on a bikepacking journey when I wasn't even sure if my gear and my setup was good enough for it. Once you've decided where you want to go, look for GPX routes and adapt them if needed. I got many routes from websites like Japan Alps Cycling, Bike Tour Japan, and Komoot. I also used Plot a Route to customize them to my exact start and end point, and took in advice from people who had done similar trips. You can check out all of my Strava routes in the description below. Number 2. Where to stay? This process isn't too different from any normal overseas trip. You could prioritize proximity to your cycling start points. 3. How to travel from place to place. I did a lot of online research on whether I could bring my bike onto the high-speed or local trains. The answer is yes, as long as you can carry it inside a bag. For luggage storage and transfers, I used storage lockers at the train stations. The fees were 400 yen per day, but this depends on the size of your locker. I also used Takubin to forward my bag while I was bikepacking. Most hotels should be able to help you with this. So I sent my bag to a convenience store near the train station because I saw on the Takubin website that this was one of the receiving points. But when I went to pick it up, the staff were quite angry and told me to never do this again. I didn't forward my bag to my next hotel because I needed to retrieve and use my Rinko bag to take the train to Karuizawa. We'll answer questions from Instagram next. The first one is about tips for solo bikepacking. So what I would say is that if you have the chance to do something like this, just go and don't wait for the perfect moment. Choose your destination wisely, based on how rugged or isolated you want your trip to be, how comfortable you need to be, how familiar you are with the region, etc. Be self-sufficient in basic bike repair. Bring tools, know how to fix common issues such as punctures, and if all else fails, learn to and trust that you can adapt to unforeseen mishaps. And with many things in general, Google, YouTube, or even Google Maps is your best friend. Next, good gear will be useful. For example, layers for changing weather conditions, a bike computer that can route to locations and even reroute if you take a wrong turn, and of course, bags on your bike so that you can store stuff but also easily access stuff. Next, be adaptable. Keep researching for better alternatives to what you want to do and where you want to go. Google Maps proposed certain train journeys for me, but they all transited at Shinjuku, which was not ideal. So then I slightly changed my starting point, and then it showed me a parallel route to the airport, which was so much better. Next question on bike choice. So I didn't do anything special to set up my bike for this trip because the terrain is generally road tarmac, although not all. And also my gear ratio is already a semi-compact. Gear choice and considerations. Gear choice, honestly, was what I already had on hand. So I had a bar bag from my ex-colleague, saddle bag from Calvin, a top tube bag, and also a Rapha stem bag, which I was using for the very first time. My considerations were, will it hold my stuff? Is it waterproof and robust enough for the journey? Hotel rules. I don't think they have any national regulation about bringing bikes into your hotel room. I only slept with my bike with me at 5 hotels. At the 4 other hotels, from the most secure to the least secure, my bike was kept at number 1, the storeroom next to the hotel lobby, the corridor next to the lobby counter, a sheltered alleyway outside of the hotel, and this alleyway is accessible by a sliding door that is not locked, and lastly, outside the hotel entrance, but the hotel's on the 2nd story. So those are the 4 places. Where to park the bike? I just parked my bike outside of whatever restaurant I went to where it wouldn't fall over or obstruct people. If I could park it where I could have eyes on it, then great. But if I couldn't, which was often, then I would just bring into the restaurant with me my Wahoo bike computer, have it on the table and watch it to see if it suddenly resumes ride. You can generally get away with this in Japan. This is a spider, by the way. This thing that you see right here, this is a spider crossing the lens. Wait, let me take a video. Don't go away, don't go away. Hello, little buddy. What were the logistics of flying with a bike? So I used a Cycon hard case bike bag to transport my bike from Singapore to Japan, and then I kept it at Haneda Airport luggage storage for 15 days at a cost of 1,100 yen per day. And now, to wrap up this video, here are 4 big things that I couldn't have anticipated. The good surprise was being able to add the Suica card to my Apple Wallet, and it became much easier to pay for stuff at the konbinis or restaurants and to tap into the train stations. The bad surprise was actually the weather. I had to cancel 2 of my rides because of the rain. The hardest part was traveling with my bike onto the trains. In Japan, you can bring your bike on the train as long as it's in a bag. You don't need to reserve any special seat, although you could do so, especially on the bullet trains. You also don't need to pay any extra fees. But here are 2 major things to take note of. First, the physical inconvenience. A road bike is a heavy, bulky item. It's not easy to carry it around, especially if you're already carrying other bags. I also learned the hard way that you have to protect your bike frame against your wheels and the disc brake rotors. Second, the crowds. Avoid rush hour at all costs and avoid traveling into Tokyo if you can. Even if it is physically possible to board with your bag, it would be extremely embarrassing. Okay, so how is a solo trip different from a trip with your friends? Besides obvious differences such as company and moral support, when you're with a group, it means that you're with other people who can point out when you're doing stupid things. For example, why are you leaving your leg warmers in the hotel? And of course, when you're solo, if anything happens to you, nobody is immediately on site. In terms of things that I would do differently, I could have stayed in hostels instead if I wanted to save more yen. Second, I honestly could have packed even lighter. Finally, if I were in a group, I could have done more bike packing than the 3 days, 2 nights that I did. And here are my final thoughts. I don't think I've fully processed the entire trip yet, so making this video is one way to process it. It was a really good trip. I was very happy and I felt like I definitely made the most of every single day, even though along the way, sometimes it was raining, then I would cancel my cycling plans, and then I would have to find things to do. Is that a spider on my face? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, the spider's on my face. What? Okay. I feel like it's multiple spiders landing on me. This looks like a different one. I hope it's not spinning a thread. Okay, anyway. So yeah, really fantastic trip.